been interesting listening to everybody. And when you called me and told me about the idea of SAPAN, I think it's very important because just talking about India and Pakistan itself, it becomes quite self-defeating in the end because it just concentrates on two countries. And if you look at SARC, for whatever reasons was built, was created, all the problems and the bureaucracies that SARC had and its inadequacies, it still was a space where sometimes when the SARC would meet, one could talk, one could raise issues. But because again of the India-Pakistan situation, SARC doesn't exist anymore except on paper and except for the secretariat that exists in Nepal, in Kathmandu. I think it's very important because I just put a note, it's not India and Pakistan that's facing the pandemic. I think in Bangladesh, it seems we've lost most of the most eminent writers, singers, poets, artists, people who really activists. So it's all over. It's all over. It's all over. And I think we all are grieving because we do not know where this is going. I don't want to take a lot of time because there's politics involved even with the vaccinations, you know, how the vaccinations would be there and not be given, how it would reach and not reach. After giving half of the vaccines that were paid for, half are still waiting because they haven't been produced yet. So there's a lot of larger issues, but I think it's really important that we in this region, the subcontinent, which I would include both Sri Lanka and Nepal as part of the whole subcontinent, not just what was India once upon a time, but you know, the region. We have so much to share in commonalities. And I know that like when you talk of Pakistan and India, and I talk about support and support systems with India, and especially West Bengal, there are many stories I can tell you of how one-to-one contact or contact between organizations have helped save people's lives, have really rescued people from the most dire situations. So this is the kind of, my SAPAN would be that we go and look beyond and really work together, because you know there are so many things that we need to look at the positive of sides of what we can do together, look at the future of what we can do together, look at what needs to be done together. Times are hard now, times are bad now, but I think it's not just sports definitely, but sports, arts, cultures. These are the areas where I think it's much easier, literature, to bring everyone together. Politics is part of our life and we are all very political animals, but we have a core of humanism in us, a core of secularism in us, a core of allowing and believing and wanting to embrace everybody within ourselves. So this South Asian region, how can we as a region have our commonalities and call ourselves South Asians and work together is, I think, something that I would like to see SAPAN look at, and not just that on the periphery that we have the other nations and India, Pakistan continues to dominate the discussions. It has to go beyond. I think people have to just understand every other cultures that exist within our region. The cultures are we have commonalities, we have a lot of differences, it's very varied and it's very rich. And this richness is exactly what needs to come together. And I wish, so when you did call me and ask me, I said yes, because I do dream of a South Asia where all of us can form bonds no matter what our governments do and what their political interests or their personal or private interests of their parties are. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Khushi. And that's exactly the reason why we want to push the South Asia thing, because I think enough India, we have to take the issue of India-Pakistan out of the India-Pakistan tensions, out of that context, and put it in the South Asia context, because we will just keep butting heads, but we have to look at the region.